video, I'm going to show you how to make a juicy, flavorful Thanksgiving turkey. I'm going to do this step by step. First thing you want to do is check the package of the turkey to see if it was brined or injected. And this turkey happened to be brined, so we could skip that step, otherwise it would be way too salty. And something you don't want to do is rinse your turkey in your kitchen sink. All you're doing is splashing bacteria around your sink and the kitchen, and rinsing the turkey with water will not kill the bacteria. You will kill the bacteria by cooking the turkey properly. Also, if your turkey has one of these poppers in it, you could go ahead and remove that and throw it out, because all it does is indicate your turkey is overcooked. So I'm going to take 2 sticks of butter here. This is unsalted butter, and we're just going to make a compound butter out of this. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of fresh chopped garlic. I have some Aleppo pepper for heat. Add about a teaspoon of that. There's no real recipe for this. Just do this by eye. I'll add some granulated onion as well, about a tablespoon, and you could use any spices you like with this. Also some paprika, give it some smoky flavor. And I have some fresh thyme here. I'm just going to pick the leaves off this thyme and incorporate that in the butter as well. Much rather prefer the fresh thyme over dried thyme. It has a much more intense flavor. About 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme. We'll start to mix this butter together. This butter was softened as well. You just put that in the microwave for 15 seconds or so. This way everything spreads easily. And this is going to keep the meat nice and moist, as well as give it a nice flavor. Also add some salt and pepper to this. Fresh cracked pepper. And I have some chicken stock here, because we're going to inject this turkey, and that's going to ensure that the meat is moist. This is just regular chicken stock, nothing added to it, because this turkey was brined, so we don't want to go too crazy with the flavor. This is just to ensure that the meat is nice and juicy. So the skin is wrapped around the legs. We'll just remove that. I'll cut that excess fat off. Remove the turkey neck, and we want to keep this because I like to use that for turkey soup when I make a turkey stock. We'll put that aside. Make sure nothing else is in the cavity. And then where the neck is, remove that excess fat. And that's where the bag of the giblets is. We'll keep that for stock as well. Put that aside. Make sure nothing else is in the turkey. You don't want to roast the turkey with anything inside it other than what we want to put in it. And for my turkey stuffing, I like to use lemons, fresh herbs, as well as some heads of garlic. A lot of times you see turkeys stuffed with stuffing for Thanksgiving, and that I do not recommend, because you're taking a cooked product and you're putting it inside of a raw turkey, so you're just asking to get people sick. If that stuffing doesn't reach at least 165 degrees internally, it's going to get people sick, and it just turns to mush. I like stuffing to be nice and crispy, but that's for another video. So I'm just going to quarter my lemons here, cut my garlic heads in half. So stuffing the cavity will help the turkey maintain its shape, help it cook more even, and just give off a nice aroma with that lemon and all those fresh herbs. And the garlic is going to roast down. And I have a mix of thyme, rosemary, and sage. I really like that combination for the turkey. Oregano works nicely. You could use fresh parsley, whatever flavors you prefer. Just make sure the cavity is filled. And with this combination of flavors, along with that compound butter we made, I really think it gives off perfect combination of flavors for a Thanksgiving turkey, as well as the injection. So the turkey's brined, injected, we stuff the cavity with the lemon, garlic, and the herbs, and then we put that compound butter right under the skin so it moistens the meat and flavors it as it cooks. So I'm just going to loosen the skin here so we could get that butter underneath the skin so it could go right on top of the meat, and again just moisten the meat and flavor it as the bird cooks. Loosen the skin over the legs as well. so we can get butter over the leg and the thigh. You don't want to tear the skin, just loosen it up. So now we get our injection, and again, this is just chicken stock. Just give this a taste before you inject, because sometimes chicken stock is low sodium, sometimes it's a little too salty, and we just want to keep this meat nice and moist. We don't want to overly flavor it because the turkey was brined. So we'll start with the breast, and you can see how the breast plumps up as we inject it, and that's just all that chicken stock going into the meat. Do the other side here. And this is just insurance if sometimes the turkey is overcooked, it'll still be nice and juicy. We want it to be juicy anyway, but still, this is just going to ensure that the turkey will be juicy even if you overcook the turkey. Or sometimes you undercook it, you have to put it back in the oven after cutting it. This will just make sure for a juicy turkey. So this is really an important step. I definitely recommend injecting your turkey. And you can use different flavor combinations for the injection. I like to just use the chicken stock because I have so much flavor in the compound butter and the brine to keep the meat moist. That's why I use the injection. But melted butter with paprika works nicely, or garlic, any flavors you prefer, but just make sure you inject the turkey. I'm injecting it over the pan that I'm going to be roasting the turkey, and this way any juice will go to the bottom of the pan because I'm going to line that with chicken stock anyway. And this is a 17-pound turkey, so it'll take a lot of injection. You can still see the meat plumping up as I inject it. That looks good for the injection. Now we're going to truss the bird. And this is just going to keep its shape so it cooks evenly. I'm going to take the wing tips and just tuck them under the body of the bird to keep them from burning. Then I'll just go under here, make a little figure 8 around the legs. This doesn't have to be perfect. People have some crazy ways of trussing the turkey. It just needs to be uniform. It does not have to be perfect. Just give it a flip, come back around by the neck. Give you a better view of that. You can see the wings tucked under. And then just tie that there. This way everything stays secure. Do a double knot. Make sure that's snug. And that's it. Easy way to truss the turkey. Now I'll pour the rest of the chicken stock on the bottom of the pan. Sometimes I could put white wine here as well, but this time just the chicken stock will work. Now we'll bring back that compound butter and just put that under the skin. Push it back there so it covers the entire breast of the turkey. And I'm going to use all the butter for this turkey because as it cooks, the meat's just going to soak up all that flavor from the butter. It's going to drip down into the chicken stock, which we could use later as a gravy or just a pan dripping for the turkey meat after we cut it. Just get it under and just massage it into the meat. And I have this rack here for my roasting pan. If you don't have a rack like this, you could just cook the turkey on top of some vegetables, some carrots, celery, and onion, anything to just keep it elevated from the floor of the pan. Now I'm going to have them preheated to 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 230 degrees Celsius. And we're going to put this turkey in for a half hour just to get it started, uncovered, to get the color going, and then we're going to drop the temperature. I also don't baste the turkey as it's cooking. Sometimes you see recipes that call for every 15 minutes to baste the turkey. That really doesn't do anything but prolong the cooking time of the turkey. You're just opening the oven, letting all the heat out, and you're just taking the juices and putting it on top of the bird. It's not doing anything for the meat. It's just making the skin look nice. So with this butter and the injection, that's really going to flavor the meat. That's what we're looking for. So the remaining butter I'll just put in the cavity right there, so that just drips down into the chicken stock. And that's ready to go. So final step, I take some olive oil and just rub that over the skin. This helps with the color for the turkey, gives it a little bit more even color, and it has something for the salt and pepper to adhere to when we season this. So generously season with salt. This is a 17-pound turkey, so don't be afraid of the salt. Get all the nooks and crannies of the turkey. And fresh cracked pepper. And then finally I'll add some sage, rosemary, and thyme to the chicken stock, just to add some more aroma and flavor to the turkey. And this will keep the drippings flavorful if you choose to make a gravy. So this is ready to go. Again, half hour, uncovered, just to get the color started. So a half hour later, you can see the turkey starting to color. And at this point, we want to tent it so it doesn't burn. We don't want the turkey to burn. We have the wingtips under the body, so we're just going to tent it. We don't want to tightly wrap it in foil. We're not trying to steam it. We just want to tent it to protect the turkey from burning. I dropped the oven temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. And we're going to put this back in. We're going to look at it in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. We don't want to go by 15 minutes per pound. Again, don't use this baster. That's a waste. You don't want to go by per pound for 15 minutes because there's a lot of different variables. Your oven could be different. The turkey might not be fully defrosted. So just check on this in 3.5 hours and we'll go by temperature. So this is 3.5 hours later. The color's looking very nice. Nothing's burning. We have some even browning, and we just want to give it a check here. So I'll take my thermometer, again, going by temperature, not by time, and this is at 141 degrees. So it's not there yet. We want to take this to at least 160, so it rests to 165. So we're going to put this back in uncovered now. This should have maybe about another hour or so. We'll check it again. And after another hour, you can see the color is even more beautiful. This is looking really nice. See what the temperature is? And I'm getting 161 in the breast, so that's perfect. This will rest minimum of a half hour, closer to an hour, and this is going to have carryover cooking, at least another 6-7 degrees, and we'll be at 165. If you look at this turkey, you don't want to cut into this when it's ready because all the juice will just go all over your cutting board. You want to let the juices redistribute like any protein you cook. This way it'll stay nice and juicy. If you have leftovers or if you make any other dish with it, it'll stay nice and moist and flavorful. And just keep it covered in foil so it stays warm. So we're ready to carve this turkey. I put some wet paper towels under my cutting board to keep it from shifting around. This way when we're carving the turkey, nothing slips. We want to be as safe as possible. We don't want to get any cuts on Thanksgiving and get blood all over the turkey. So we'll take the turkey out here. We'll just remove that twine. And just start to carve this turkey. First I'll remove the leg and the thigh. Just remove that skin there. Just go down along the thigh, staying to the bone. And just crack that joint out. And that leaves you an opening to get your knife in. And remove the leg and the thigh. That looks good. Put that aside. And we'll do the same for the other side. Again, pop it out. Cut down. We have our other leg and thigh. So at this point we'll separate the leg from the thigh. Cut right down. Put that aside. Looks really nice. You could take the bone out of the thigh and cut it if you like. I like to keep it whole with the bone. Do the same for our other leg. And now we can remove the breasts. So on top, just follow your knife down and it'll naturally go to one side. Just follow the bone, staying close to the bone, not cutting through the meat. And just run your knife down. That looks really nice. Also, don't forget the wings. Just cut those off. You could actually just pull those off. They come off rather easy. Just like that. We'll take the other breast off. Same thing. Keep our knife close to the bone. And any extra meat on the carcass, just pick on that. Keep it for turkey soup, I like to do. Or keep some for my dog. She always gets a plate for Thanksgiving as well. And again, keep this carcass with the turkey neck and the giblets. It's great for turkey stock to use for soup. I like to take the breasts and just put slices out of them. And I like them rather thick. It's nice and juicy. You don't want it too thin, paper thin slices. Just like so. I think everyone's favorite part is the turkey breast. And because we let it rest, you can see all that juice is in the meat, not all over the board. Put my knife under that. Put that on our platter. And then just do the same for the other breasts. Get a lot of meat from this turkey. Really is just flavorful and juicy. I don't know if you can see how juicy this is. Just look at that. I mean, that is a juicy turkey breast. That is beautiful. And with that compound butter, it is really flavorful. This is not a dry, bland turkey, that's for sure. And everything on the platter, just like that. That is beautiful, and you have a gorgeous Thanksgiving turkey, all portioned out, ready to go. Give this a try for Thanksgiving or any meal. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. I hope this helps, and I appreciate you watching.